Good evening. Good evening.
Hello all.
Good evening.
Evening, dirty
everyone.
faces. Hi,
Hi, dirty
Katrina.
faces. Hi, Katrina. How are you?
This
Hope
has
you're
got
all
three
good,
in, but I can't
guys.
actually see.
Oh, Kiwi.
Oh, Kiwi. Hi.
Hiya,
Yeah.
Kiwi. Oh, that's another one for the board. Excuse me.
Yeah.
There's another one for the board. Oh, this.
We've just been updating the board, so anyone who's got quite low numbers, we've made sure you're on the board. Hi, Stealth.
This.
How is it? We still haven't got snow. We got rain. It's been raining all day.
Rain.
Again.
I can vouch for the rain. And Nikki's looking rather svelte today.
Woo.
Nikki's been out up the woods, been physical, getting fresh air. 2 days in the woods. Blimey.
I wonder what I just put my foot on and I just realised it's Willow's
Stealth.
thingy thing.
This is how I get my workouts. Up,
down. Up and down like a prostitute's knickers. That's just in case. No, maybe said that. Was there maybe little ones in the house?
People on the board tonight. There we go. Hi, Stealth. How you doing, mate? So the board. What are we going to do about the board? So
if it keeps on, I'm going to have to get a bigger board.
Yeah, get a bigger board. Find another wall. Kiwi Outdoors Apprentice 47 subs, mate. Well done.
Excellent.
Well done. And again, it's where I try and support you as best I can. Bit busy here at the moment, obviously.
Yeah.
Broke all the rules this weekend, didn't we? Didn't I?
Hi, John.
Hi, John. How you doing, mate? Been a naughty boy this weekend, as Mickey does. Hiya, Jason. How you doing out there on the island?
Hello.
Hang on. Hello, Jen. You're a long way away, but I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Love from Mickey, Cass, and Willow.
Evening, Steve.
Anyhow,
I loved your video, Jason. I loved it. Yes. So,
this weekend, I know I'm supposed to be keeping away from people, but every year, for the last couple of years, one weekend around this time of the year, I spend with the Venture Scouts up the woods. And I go along. They have a day up there where they're doing 4x4 driving. They're having a good time doing that. And I'm there really as a backup. I'm there to give a bit of a chat about safety, security.
And Jason does the food for them as
survival.
well.
Jason does their food for them. You know, any questions they got, anything that I can show them or demonstrate, we go through. And a wonderful group of young people they are as well. Had a great time with them. Now, part of me, towards the end of the week, obviously, was like, should I not? And I suddenly realised, hang on, if I start chasing away everything in my life purely and simply because of an illness,
hi Bushcraft Sussex,
I'm going to get pretty bored pretty damn quick. So, no, I went up there and I let the youngsters know. I said, I'm going to have to keep a bit of distance between me and you, because if any of you got the sniffles or the colds, I don't want it. Absolutely brilliant. Very supportive. Great bunch.
Evening, Jess.
And it was great energy. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Stop moaning.
Did get a message on one of the videos. Oh, the cars in the background. What's the stickers on them? Okay, so the guys whose woods I use, the guys that allow me to use their woods, okay, are Surrey 4x4 Tours and Training. Now, this is a company that teaches people from corporate to social driving. Social driving? No. They do days for families, friends, individuals. They also do a lot of corporate instruction.
It means if you want to try, if you never had a 4x4 and you want to try, you go along there and you can try one of theirs.
And they're a great bunch. And this isn't me plugging them. It's just somebody asked what, the 4x4s, the Overlanders in the background, what was it about? And that's them. If you ever want to know anything about 4x4 driving, okay, Surrey 4x4 Tours and Training. they're based down there, give them a shout. They can cater for most things, from a day driving around in the woods or even a half day driving around in the woods, and they can provide you with 4x4s to use. So
I
great
believe
experience.
next weekend they're off on the Salisbury Plain.
They are, and they do
They're a
adventures and tours all over the UK. Great bunch of guys, and they work in conjunction with the Green Lane Association. So again, these aren't cowboys; they're not rip-offs. These are guys that are actually aiming to,
not want to encourage you to go off piste.
encourage you to enjoy it, but enjoy it responsibly. Anyhow, that's enough of that. That's enough plugging. But that's what I was doing. So me, in conjunction with them, giving a little bit back to the Scouts, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I got a question once I was up there, where somebody said to me, "Youngsters today, they ain't what we were when we were kids." And I thought, oh, that's interesting. What if I asked the youngsters?
Yeah.
So I said, bear in mind, these are anything from, I think, sort of 13, 14 onwards. And I said, question for you guys. Answer this one for me. Why are you different to my generation? And
they've got more technology than we have, for a start.
They said, because you didn't show us what your generation was. We were children. We've grown up, and we've gone by what our parents told us and by what we're shown and what we see, and that. So really, when we moan about the younger generation, is it possibly our fault in how we've passed things on? Is it? Now bear in mind, technology and all the information has changed. I mean, so in my day, a computer was something mystical, scientific. I was never going to see. You want to look up, don't you?
Look at a book.
Yeah, exactly that.
You're not Alexa. What's this?
So it's changes, and the world, life, and everything, as we're all aware, does change. But again, it takes somebody from the older generation, maybe sometimes, to go, oh look, that's an apple tree, and that's a crab apple.
But things go around in circles, don't they?
And it does go around in circles. Yeah. Anyhow, I've just got to unplug something from the back of my computer, otherwise it's going to keep jumping up, trying to load.
So it's up to us to pass on our knowledge to keep it going. Otherwise, it'll be lost in the mist of time.
And over the weekend, that's 40 youngsters up there. The majority, not everybody, I say, but the majority of which were actually thoroughly enjoying being out in the woods, firelighting, camp building, doing the sort of things that we all enjoyed when we were kids. And I always find it interesting that really and truthfully that the basics of what they want to do doesn't really change from what I wanted to do when I was.
They want to build camps and learn to make fire.
It's just, they're just feeding off of what they're fed.
John, that's so unfair. He's had his first snow. They've got 4 inches of snow there.
Speaking to him. Right, I should give you a weather prediction for this year. Mickey is making a prediction. I'm actually going to put money on it as well.
You're going to white Christmas.
So I'm going into hospital on the 23rd, and I'm not going to be able to go outdoors and play for possibly 4 to 6 weeks. Sometime within the 4 to 6 weeks from the 23rd onwards, it's going to snow, and it will snow like a lunatic.
Yeah.
Right, Mickey will be at the window, looking, and sobbing. And the day that I actually get go on, off you go, play, spring will be here.
Yeah.
The grass will be coming out.
Because every time we have had a vehicle that can deal with a 4x4, that can deal with the snow, and it's broken or it needs something done to it, it will snow.
And on the years where I've gone, it ain't going to snow, I'm not going to bother the 4x4 this year.
Yep.
It snowed.
Yep.
So I'm probably doomed not to enjoy snow. Exactly that, Bushcraft. You teach them the things that your grandparents taught you. And isn't that? I think the difficulty, it's not the parents' fault. It's not our fault. Life in the last 40 years has got faster and faster and faster and faster for adults, grown-ups, for everybody really. It's a case of all of a sudden, you got to do more, you got to do more, you got to do more, you got to do more. Sunday, Sunday, that when I was a boy, was a day of rest religiously across the UK, whether you were Christian or not. Sunday is a day off. You don't work Sunday.
Sunday I went
Pubs
to my
not open
uncle's farm.
Sunday. It's a family day. That's been eroded by big business that go, actually, do you know what? We want to open the shops on Sunday because we can sell more crap to more people that don't need crap, that want crap. And we can employ people to sell that crap. We can pay them crap money. In actual fact, what we do is we turn it into a normal day of the week. We don't have to pay overtime. Brilliant.
We're lucky because
So,
the way we brought our boys up, they loved it outside. They were always in the woods, making camps, things like that. And now it's our son's turn to pass it on to our granddaughter. So she loves tractors and
yes, John, the special rubber room. My happy place. Hi, Chronically, how you doing, mate? Hi, Kitten. Hi, Bushcroft, Sussex, TJ, Kitten Killer, John Kennedy, Kiwi Outdoors. What do you have with this? Jess, how you all doing? Yeah, we're delicate. Gotta have a hobby. Yeah, it's. That's it. You gotta learn and figure things out.
When I was growing up, a Sunday morning, my dad took us over to my uncle's farm.
Yeah.
And we got playing on the tractors. We fed the sheep. We fed the pigs.
Yeah.
We got the chickens sorted out. And
Sunday it should be a family day. I'm not bothered about your religion, whatever you wish to practice. That's your business. But there should be one day a week that is set in stone. Is literally a family day. It's a day where people know they can do things together. They can relax.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Sussex, why are you an ex-tractor fan?
An ex-tractor fan?
Yeah,
there is no such thing.
He used to like tractors, but he's an ex-tractor fan.
He's an ex-tractor fan.
Yeah.
He blows both ways.
Yes.
Ex-tractor fan.
Yeah, I got it now. We had a Fulton Major at my uncle's farm. An old one. And a gypsy. So we used to use for everything.
Old Massey Ferguson.
And a really, really, really old, big Caterpillar bulldozer thing.
Yeah.
That my dad used to use.
Fords for me. Fords, did a lot with Fords over the years. Liked them. And then they became New Holland.
I know it. I walked right into that one, Jeff, didn't I? Right into it. Well, you stop whining. I'll pick you up and you. Massey 135. Yeah.
Chronically, it wouldn't surprise me, mate. 135s. Yes. Oh. Yeah. It's nothing. Tractors. I think one day I've got to have a tractor again.
Yeah. Oh, your granddaughter will be so chuffed because she's got herself a new jacket. It's a Valtra.
Next year, if anybody hears of a tractor, it doesn't have to be anything special. Going cheap or go.
Where are we going to put that?
Preferably, give me a shout.
Could I use that to go shopping uptown?
I will get a proper carrier in it for you. So, mobility scooter on trailer uptown. It's got to be cheaper on the tax, cheaper on the MOT, cheaper on the insurance. Yeah, well, I'll quite happily drive a tractor around for the rest of my days and blow them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or go do some of the third world countries use old rotavator.
Yeah.
To power their machines.
From what I gather, under the new rules, as long as I run it on white diesel, pay the little bit extra on the road tax, it's not an issue on distance anymore. Whereas years ago, you were limited on how far you could actually travel on the road with the tractor. So yeah. As long as I run it on white diesel, not red.
So it's the 1st of December already.
Bitch, bunch.
No, you can't do that after 12 o'clock. Actually, get a slap and a kick for being so quick.
Oh, she got me. Yeah. So I'm a bit knackered, I will say. These young people, they really run me ragged, but kept me busy. They kept the old brain box going. It was absolutely brilliant. So I will like to say to the Venture Scouts of Surrey and that, and the Lightwater guys, and to my friends out there, especially Cameron. Thank you guys. Great weekend. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Gave me the pickup that I needed. And it was very refreshing. Saturday was okay. Today was a bit on the soggy side, bit damp, but still
Moist.
had a great day. They were building top shelters and all sorts. It was absolutely fantastic to watch, and we actually challenged them. So the end of each day was basically each group was given a huge selection of shackles, pulleys, ropes, and all the rest of it. A Land Rover got severely stuck, and I mean severely stuck intentionally, and they had to try and figure out.
Was that the red disco?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They had to figure out how to get it all connected up to pull it out, and nobody gave any help. It was literally the gear was dumped on the ground, and they were told, "That's your vehicle. It's got to move from there to there. That's your equipment. Crack on." And it was brilliant to watch. It was brilliant to watch, see them figure it out, work
Good
it
to learn
out.
teamwork, isn't it?
Yeah, team working. Yeah, and nobody got harmed. Everybody put a great deal of effort in. It was brilliant. Good kit.
No, it's not always moist, John. Sometimes we have it.
Yeah. Right. We don't so much use the word moist. Moist is too pleasant for the weather in the UK. We call it dank. Dribbly.
Drizzly.
Drizzly.
Yeah.
Dank.
Come on in.
Miserable. And I think that's what makes the British people so resilient. I think it's it's the fact that even in the worst days, you just sort of get on with it, don't you? Pretty much Kiwi could be. Yes, we are. Yeah, he's been a really because I've been busy for the last 2 days. He's been sort of grumping all evening, and he's determined that I'm not going to clear off out his sight again for a while. So he's got a bit of the hump.
Pishing down, yeah, that's the Scottish version of it, isn't it?
Big chopping board at the moment from Fresh Ash. Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah.
Bit of fresh ash. Yeah, make the most of the ash trees. I don't know that they're going to be around much longer, are they?
Mind you, just recently, we have, when we've been out, we've come across the odd elm.
Yes, we
and we thought we'd lost all the elms, obviously, with Dutch elm disease.
Yeah, I've got 3 places now where we've got elm trees, and for years I've known along certain stretches of the canal and that with the elms have retained or remained. They only ever grow to a certain height because the Dutch elm bug flies at that height, hits them and kills them. However, there are little groves, little places in the UK where the elm is just about hanging on. So with any luck, as someone explained to me a little while back, the Dutch elm disease, the bug, the larvae, once the elms have gone, it's got no food. It actually requires it must have the elm tree. It doesn't have anything to survive on. So with any luck, if the elm numbers drop enough, then the bug drops enough to the point where we have no bug left in the UK, where the beetles no longer here, the larvae are no longer here, disrupt the breeding cycle, and then maybe, if we're really lucky, the elms will make a bit of a comeback. It won't happen in my lifetime, but it would be nice to imagine that future generations get to see those stands of elm trees I remember as a child along all the roads, because the elm was a fantastic tree. It was a wonderful one.
Well, Sussex said he's got 7 huge trees at his disposal, so spoons for years. So how many spoons do you reckon you get out of a tree?
Just watch you don't get Whittler's cramp.
That's what I'm looking forward to at the next camp, is being shown.
Yeah, you want to have a go, don't you?
I'll try. My arthritis in my hands is maybe not so great, but... Yeah, I see Merthyr Tydfil. They've had
I see that
state, a big hole has appeared.
Yeah, the thing is, Stealth, will they hold those companies that still exist from the mining days responsible for what's happening?
Mm.
This is something that has got to be looked into. There are people that made billions of dollars and pounds out of mining in the UK. And then literally like, we're done with that. Just put a door on it, sack everybody, move on. Those are, the government, the authorities.
It's happening a lot in China and that, isn't it? The top bits.
Yeah, they've got to put these things to rights. They can't just abandon it like that. And I know what they'll do. They'll just turn around and go, that was a long time ago. No, they've got to be held to account. Got to be held to account. Responsibility for your actions.
T, only time that you said about a giant spoon. The only time a giant spoon is not great is when you got to have medicine.
Yeah. Kiwi, that thing about about Ash that Faye found was absolutely fascinating. That was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I'll leave you to put that up on your channel, mate. Do it as a talk. Do it as a live or something like that, because the information is brilliant. And there was bits and pieces I knew, but the actual information behind Ash on chickens, stuff like that, the details on it, fantastic.
And you want to know how are you tonight?
I'm tired.
It's been with the Adventure Scouts,
yeah,
is it?
My back's aching a little bit. Obviously, where I've got the issue.
Go, Ash, do it, Sussex, do it.
But yeah, other than that, I'm feeling pretty good, pretty happy, pretty confident. We're not concerned about anything. For those of you that don't know, the operation date for me has been brought forward from the 30th to the 23rd. So 23rd of December, I go in to have this kidney out.
Badger's in the room.
We move forward from there. Yeah.
Yeah, Sussy, you've got to make. Come on, we're all behind you. You've got to make a 6-foot spoon.
6-foot spoon.
He's always wanted to make a 6-foot spoon.
Do
so we're all like, yeah, do it.
Become the king of whittlers. Do it, mate. Do it.
Say, that's not a spoon. That's a spoon.
Oh, this sounds perfect, isn't it? That ain't a spoon. This is a spoon. The thing is, hiya, Badger. How you doing, mate? So once you've made your 6-foot spoon, you've got to make a 6-foot cup, haven't you?
That might, Andy, it might work the wrong way. He said I should walk up and down your back with a pair of crampons on. That would take your mind off it.
It'll take my mind off it. I won't tell you where I'll put the crampons if you try it, but there we go. No, I'm not really.
Kitten, that is a paddle, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's a paddle.
That's a paddle. I'm not feeling so bad. Obviously,
up and down days.
Yeah. I've had a couple of days where I've been a little bit sort of, oh my goodness, and I've had a couple of days where I've gone, well, what the hell?
Thank you, T. Appreciate that. Wishes you all the best.
Cheers, T. Thank you very much.
And did you notice all the people on the board tonight?
Yeah, there's some names on the board there tonight. Special hi to Jen, Island Jason's other half.
Yeah,
it's
Island Jason is on tonight with us in the room.
He is.
So if the room would like to show some love and subscribe to
Find Your Friends with Island Jason. That's the channel.
Brilliant.
There you go. Throw him some love and support.
You've got to take the S off T outdoors. It's outdoor, not outdoors.
Oh, okay. Sorry, mate.
You can't get the staff these days, T.
Hey, you're lucky I managed to spell tea correctly. Oh. Yeah, and any time I put anything up on the board for anybody and I cock it up, let me know. My reading writing skills are probably not the best.
John said that there actually be a next video. Stealth could turn out an old 55-gallon ore drum into a bill pot and for the 6-foot spoon. Can you imagine the amount of tea bags you'd have to have in that?
Tea.
Giant tea bags.
So one of the things I've had to do this week.
How about a coracle?
Giving up sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking tea without sugar. I drink a lot of tea through the day. So I've stopped drinking tea. I'm having sugar in my tea. First couple of days were a bit of a swine. Getting used to that now. Not an issue there. But I'm afraid that first cup of coffee in the morning's got to have 2 sugars in it. I need that. I'm like a 2-stroke engine. I need that extra little bit of oomph to get me. In fact, I'm like an old diesel engine. I'm like an old diesel. So in the morning, you got to give me a bit of a squirt with the old ether.
Bushcraft Rebooted, good evening.
And that's what kicks me into life. Men of culture, we meet again. I don't know about culture.
Yeah.
Cultured.
Yeah.
Hi, Sticks. How you doing, brother?
I'd love to see somebody try and make a coracle. I've seen them I think it was Jack Hargreaves. I'm pretty sure it was. I saw with the coracle, but yeah.
Yeah, coracles. Yeah, it's again an ancient way of moving on
And you have
water,
to,
isn't it?
yeah, that'd be ideal for your spoon because you have to,
You scull it.
yeah,
Don't
you have to sort of do a figure eight. Is it
Yeah,
figure eight?
yeah. I taught
Yeah.
Kaz years ago. We used to have a small boat. We used to use it on the canal here. Nothing powered.
Yeah.
I taught Kaz and the boys how to scull a boat because, again, being involved in waterborne work in my previous life, yeah, you got used to using everything from
Excellent.
yeah, ribs, yeah,
The
yeah.
only
I
thing
can't say too much, but braiding craft, light boats, fast boats, slow boats, some of those big boats, but you learn to scull rather than.
you took me out one day on the canal, and you bet you we saw a mink on the bank. So you pulled the boat up and was running off in the ridge, and the bloody thing come at me. So it's me with me paddle waiting to twat this bloody.
Yeah, we had a problem with the mink
Yeah,
down
we
there
did.
at that point. They were. It was spring and they were raiding the bird nests, and a mink in the UK, they don't belong here. They're not a native species, and they are super destructive because they've got no nothing that will prey on them.
And they love amphibians and birds. They just
Yeah.
they'll kill it for the.
They'll destroy
They've
things.
got no.
Just like
Yeah, it's
destroying
just
it.
fun for them.
So I'm afraid it's one of those creatures in the UK I've got no place or time for. It's one of my rules. If I was out shooting, I'm very, very restrictive on what I'll shoot. But if I see a mink, it gets it. Simple as that. We don't want them here.
It's unfortunate that people wrongly think that they're helping them by letting them loose because they're not. They're making them. They're not used to looking after themselves, and then the amount of destruction they do. It's yeah.
They'll take over a bank along a river, and they will absolutely destroy everything along there. All the bank voles will go, all the small rodents, amphibians, and then eventually they start hitting the fowl as well. So you start to lose the coots, the moorhens, the ducks, and so on. And there's not a lot that they're scared of, including human beings. If you ever come across a mink, don't think it's an animal that's going to run away from you. It's not. It's an animal that if you push it, it will stand its ground. And they're fast and they're ferocious. Think of a ferret, right? But that ferret's on steroids.
Yeah, I've heard we've got nutras as well.
Yeah, nutra rats. Yes.
Yeah. What is nice? We haven't actually seen them personally ourselves, but they have let great bustards out on Salisbury Plain.
Yeah.
And then they're supposed to be doing really, really well. And now we've got white-tailed sea eagles.
Yes, they've been.
In this country.
They're back, aren't they? So again, it's yeah.
I know we've got some of. They have released beaver back. We did have beaver. That was a long time ago, and.
Yeah, but they've also found beaver that they think never went away, haven't they?
Yeah.
A couple of places where they're like, well, we didn't release beaver there, but they've
But we got wallabies in this country that got out, and we've got the snakes up in London. We've got the fourth or the fifth snake. It's non-venomous snake to us, but
rat snake, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got quite comfy up there.
We have scorpions and toxic spiders that have come in from other countries, live quite happily in the walls and that, and survive amongst us. And again, in that case, there are species here that will adapt and live and evolve and get by, but there's also species we really, really don't want because they just don't.
Yeah, how is your life coming along? Because you're spending so much time on that. Yeah.
I'm going to catch up with him tomorrow. I'm going to bother him tomorrow. I'll be living him and going, Stick, show me how you're getting on.
We've got the parakeets as well now, haven't we?
Yeah. So again,
we've got a lot of wild ferrets around here because obviously people have gone ferreting and lost their ferrets, so it's not unusual.
And guys, let me know if the imagery is a bit clearer tonight. So I'm trying something. Which is I've turned the main light off and just got the two backing lights up, which are down quite low, and I'm letting the camera actually do the lighting. So hopefully, if that's a bit better, let me know if it's better than what it was last Sunday, and we will stick with that. Or if it's worse, you're like, Mickey, it's not too good, let me know, and what I can do then is, Put the
Right,
light on.
Andy. Yeah, he's what he's done is when he did a video the other day asking people to give him ideas for videos to do, he's got another board, and that's up there because
What, the secret board?
the secret board, yeah, the secret small board. Andy would like to see some nice Sharpley videos.
Okay. Okay, so
I love ferrets. We used to have a few
there we go.
ourselves.
The
That
secret
is
board
the-
of suggestions. Right, so basically what I'm after is ideas, suggestions for videos, and now you've said that, Andy, knife sharpening. Well, that can go in with.
I think it's already on there, isn't it?
No, that
No?
was knife grinds and tangs plus sharpening. So we will do a whole video dedicated to knives.
Farrah Holt in Last Man Arundel.
So the idea being, whilst I'm recuperating from the operation, I can do videos from home and give you guys hopefully still content. We're going to still carry on with the lives on a Sunday.
Yeah.
That I'm determined
Good
to
evening,
do.
El Croc.
And New Year's Eve this year, we will be doing a live on New Year's Eve. If you wish to join us, I understand that people are fully busy and people are doing other things, and
We're
I
not
hope
do
you
the
are.
4 hours this time,
However,
5 hours.
New Year's Eve live this year will be
Really?
from 10 to 12, 12 midnight, just to see the new year in. For anybody that may not have anybody to share it with, so they can come along, and we will be here to hold your hand
Katrina's going to be
and
with
guide
us.
you through, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
We used to have polecat ferrets, and one of the boys used to get their the Action Man personnel carrier, and he used to sit in it, and they used to push them round, and his ferrets come out. Sorry, it's really funny.
It was, wasn't it, Stealth? It was a brilliant New
Thank you,
Year's
Stealth.
Eve last year.
Yeah.
Although we did, in all honesty, starting at 8 and going
Yeah,
right
that
the way
was a bit
through
long.
to well after midnight, it was, my throat for about 4 days afterwards. It was like,
But it was nice. We're all getting very merry and saw the new year in.
Yeah, a bit of silliness and a bit of fun. Right, so is there anything anybody wants to discuss? And again, because I've literally come home from dealing with the scouts, had my tea.
Hello, Lee.
Cracking tea tonight, and quick wash, quick brush up, quick shave, and straight onto this. So I haven't really had a lot of a chance to sit and think about it today, have I?
No.
It's normally I spend my Sundays sitting there perusing ideas and shouting at Kaz, going, "What do you reckon too, Kaz?" And she's like, "No, you can't say that." "Oh, what if we, Kaz?" She's like, no. And helping me figure out what to do then. Right, Andy. So at the moment I'm having to give up beer and alcohol. Okay. Now I only drink on a Sunday night anyhow, and I don't drink. I've never been a heavy drinker. So because they're taking the kidney out, one of the things that they've done, they said, like, you're going to have to reduce your salt intake. Well, I don't have a huge amount of salt anyhow, but I am being a bit more aware of it. Sugar needs to be reduced. Well, I've known that for years. I'll be honest with you, I've got a sweet tooth. I was a kid in the 70s. I've always had 2 sugars in my tea, 2 sugars in my coffee. And I'll tell you what is a scary thing, is when I sat down and worked out how many cups of tea I drink a day. There's no worry about dehydration in this, man, because when I sat there and went, do you know what? I drink between 14 and 26 cups of tea a day. Now, the tea isn't a problem on its own, but if you think I'm putting 2 sugars in every cup, bloody, excuse my language, but bloody hell. So again, I was like, do you know what, cut it out. Now, so I'm a week into cutting out sugar. First couple of days, I noticed it. I really did notice. My energy levels went.
I stupidly said to him, why don't you put some Manuka honey in?
Yeah, that was not nice in a cup of tea. And I decided that's it. Cut the sweet out of the tea completely.
Yeah.
So my body's now just starting to come back to a balance. My body's just starting to go, do you know what? Now we've got to get it out of the system. Not so bad. Funny enough, I thought it was going to make me more dopey. I had 2 sleepless nights, and I think that's partly mental and partly physical. Taking the sugar out of my body is my body reacting in another way, and going, "What the hell's going on?" But it's not becoming a fitness freak. It's not becoming a health freak. But it's just being aware. Ah,
Well, it's funny because you'd already
I've
changed the
just got
diet
to
for
be a
the
bit more
past year.
sensible. Yeah. And I had
Anyway.
changed my diet earlier in the year. I recently, or this year, what we've done this year, so I reduced the amount of meat I eat. So I'm not eating meat every single day. And I actually, do you know what? Bonus. Lost a bit of weight. Did help. Did help. Felt a lot better in myself. Protein diets are really, really good if you're burning that protein. If you're not burning that protein as much as you used to, you don't. And as guys that have known me for years know that I used to be quite, I say, broad-shouldered, sturdy, quite muscly lad, and I've never been. I'm a rugby player, Bill. You know, I've got a little bit of mass, but it's not massive. And I've always been physically capable. But in the last year, that physicality's dropped off a little bit. So I've adapted. I'm trying to adapt my diet so that I don't just go donk. And I'm also trying to lose a bit of the muscle and a bit of the body mass as well, because I don't need to be carrying it at my age. You know, I'm not working the door anymore. I'm not expecting to go into any sort of conflict with anything. So lose a bit of the mass, make it easier on my heart. Evening, Dan. How you doing? Hope you're good. You're not on the naughty list, mate. I just haven't put you on the board yet. So, there you go. Let's stick him on the board.
Jess says, is there anything they can do to help keep your spirits up while you're in recovery? You asked us what videos we'd like to see, but is there anything you'd like us to see from us?
Do you know what? Be happy. Keep making your videos, okay?
Give me something to watch.
Yeah, make your videos. I'm going to be laid up for a little while. Somebody said to me today, they said, 23rd, you're probably going to be in hospital over Christmas. Oh, you poor man. And I was like, do you know what? And I've got my phone with me there. I've got my earphone. I've got my hearing aids. I shall be literally plugged in like that. And I will be perusing your videos. And for me, what can you do? Just carry on being yourselves. Be the good people you are. Make your videos, share, look after one another, look after others. You know, be the good people you are. That's all I'd ask of anybody else. And enjoy yourselves. Have fun. You know, spread the word.
Hexy Brews shorts for the States, yeah. Yeah, just because you can.
Yeah. I will have my brew kit in the hospital with me. I mean, I might try and do a video from there, you know. Meth stove in the cabinet.
How to cook from a bedpan.
little cup there, arranging the bed clothes into a plough point and all the rest of it. I guarantee you those nurses are going to want me out of there as fast as possible.
And Jason has said that he will come and help me bring you back.
Yeah. So Jason,
because before now he's gone and had an operation done, and we're waiting to get a phone call to go and pick him up, and he's just walked in through the door.
It's only a few miles. It wasn't a big operation. The thing was getting out of the hospital was the challenge, because they were like, "Have you got somebody to come in to pick you up?"
Yeah. T said you got to take your Wooby.
Take the Wooby. Oh yeah.
Hi, Invisible Camper.
Take my own blanket.
D, hello.
Oh, hi Derek, how you doing, brother?
Invisible Camper's in as well. Yeah, Danny has his. Some days you say from the video, some of them you.
What's that?
You, Dan was saying you look quite cheerful.
Yeah, I mean, mate, it's got to stay cheerful. You got to stay positive, haven't you? I'm not going to say too much on here, but those that know me, people like Mac and that, they know what I've been through in my life, and some guys really close to me. Those are things to chat to people around the fire with. I've been through and seen some pretty rough things in my life, and I consider myself pretty lucky. You know, I'm a man of near misses, scrapes and fall throughs. So I've been really lucky, and
Yeah.
a fantastic wife. My son's fine, fit, healthy. Granddaughter's fine, fit, healthy. So again, I always try and look to the positive. Negativity I don't like.
T said you should accidentally bring home. He said, to be honest with you, I might have accidentally brought home a house hospital blanket as I liked it so much.
Might give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah, they have those little holy blankets, don't they?
Yeah.
It's weird how the holy blankets are.
Yeah, and it's
so
not
warm.
my first dealing with this sort of thing. As you can see, there is a hell of a scar runs from there to there, and I'm missing that side of my face under the jaw. Okay, so I had quite a big piece of my facial muscle removed a few years back, and again bounced back from that. So again, it's what we have to do. And I've got a lot planned.
And you got a scar there where you had a wire fence go.
We're going through the scars.
Yeah.
So I've got a scar there over the eye. So this is a good story for you. Peaked helmets, peaked chainsaw helmets. You don't see them anymore. The old-fashioned peaked helmet where you had the plastic there, that saved my life, saved my face. So we were straining a high tensile steel barbed wire fence. So it wasn't a normal mild steel fence, it was a high tensile steel fence. And we were straining it. So we got the strainers on it, and we're getting the tension on it. Now, this fence went through a bamboo grove and out the other side. So there was a section of about 8 feet through the bamboo. And what we had anchored it to on the other side, what was anchoring it, was a tractor. And I'm straining this end to get tension onto a post and a couple of posts in between. So I've tensioned it, and I've got a good tension. It's not mental; it's a good tension.
But we turned the main light off.
One of the guys that was with us, or working in the same area, suddenly, for whatever reason, bear in mind that everybody in the crew knew that fence was connected to that tractor. Got the hump, got in the tractor, fired it up, and drove off. And as I'm straining, I just suddenly see the wire start to vibrate like that. And when you look at something, you go, hey, what's going on there? And all of a sudden, all I heard was literally like a zzz, and got knocked clean off my feet. And the wire had snapped, come back through the bamboo like that. And it hit the peak of the helmet. And it split the helmet and just touched my face. And when I say just touched it, touched my face. It didn't black my eye or anything. It touched it, but it laid me open.
Yeah.
That side. It laid me open from here down. It split the eyebrow. It split the eyelid. It split the lower eyelid and ran into my cheek. And it was deep enough that it caused muscle damage. So hence, sometimes you'll notice on the face, you can see it's a bit out of shape. That was scary. But if it hadn't been for that peaked helmet, I still reckon today that thing would have cleaved my head. It would have opened me up like a
Matt
melon.
was saying his dad did that, and he changed his eye from blue to green.
Yeah. I got bangs, knocks, cuts, holes, slashes, stabs. I picked them all up over the years.
Bosun Dancy, he's got a gift for you when I see you.
Dan?
It's not a slap outside the head, is it?
Crack ready your old. Good old crack ready your old. There you go, son. That'll remind you of your youth. No, so yeah, you get things happen in life.
Yes, Sussex said he had a motorbike accident with no helmet. He had to stitch his eyebrow back on.
Ooh, not good. Yeah. Not good. Yeah, do you know? So about helmets and motorcycles. So in my youth, when I was stupid, and we were stupid, we were a bunch of lunatics at Merrow. There was a little gang of us that used to go charge around on our bikes like lunatics, and a regular place for us to hang out in boredom was a place called Newlands Corner. And in those days, it was just a massive car park that was about 400 metres long in the middle of nowhere, up on top of a hill. Used to get the odd courting couple up there, but we managed to put an end to that. Crow scarers, exhaust pipes, that. Some of the adults, there's no kids listening. So we used to go up there and we'd hang around at one end, and now you'd see the car come in, the lights would all go out. 5 minutes later, the car suspension's being tested, so it'll creep up in the bushes, crow scarer, exhaust pipe, light crow scarer, scuttle back into the bushes. So it soon put an end to that sort of thing.
I know the big hill at Pulborough.
Yeah, so we used to charge around. Now, my mate, who won't be named, Duncan, and us, we used to, of all the stupid things to do, playing tag on your motorbikes. But he had a car, he had an Allegro, mustard colour Allegro. Now, usually we didn't bother with helmets because you're just messing about up there. It's not a problem. And this one night, for whatever reason, I decided to put my helmet on. And we took off in the dark, lights off again, because you're that clever, aren't you? And at some point, he hit the brakes. What he did was he hit the handbrake. Well, that didn't operate the brake lights. So I didn't see the brake lights. And full trap into the back of this Allegro. Rose up across the tank. Both kneecaps hit the boot lid of the Allegro, collapsed back onto the bike, went onto the deck. Didn't knock me out, but I dislocated both knees, which a friend of mine, Martin, managed to put back into place with me using a Reliant Regal Supervan Mark III. And then it was off to hospital. There for 20 minutes, they threw me out. Hold around for weeks. But again, stupid things that you do, and you survive these stupid things through luck more than anything.
Well, Sussex, he was on a push bike, and it was down that big hill at Pulborough, 30 mile an hour. Right, Botan Dan says he's got a complete set of 58 pattern webbing for you.
Oh,
he
nice.
said, you can't think of a better place for it to go than in your collection.
Thank you very much, mate. Yeah. Oh, that'd be brilliant. That will make that's an idea for a video next year. 58 pattern versus. Oh, I was going to pick up some 95 as well from somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've got some bits. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Might be a nice video, an evolution of webbing up to today. Because I can probably have a word with Tommy when he's back from where he is. Tommy. And yeah, get a selection of the latest kit up here and show some of you. I want to show you guys the new backpacks and that with the spine mounts and all the rest of it, because that's a demonstration of good idea gone bad. You'd be interested in seeing that. It's quite an interesting bit of kit. Yeah, Lee Michelle, we're all going up to take care of ourselves till something hits us in the face. Oh yeah. The difference, life throws things at you. Whether it be trips, falls, bangs, wallops, illness, whatever.
World War One webbing. Wow.
You just got to push through it. Push on. Cheers, Mac. I knew it was
always a friend, yeah.
Always a mate, yeah. If you ain't straining, you ain't training. Yeah. Yeah, it is the Virtus Mark III backpack. Yeah, Andy. So again, not everybody likes them. So it's a kind of what can I say about it? How you deal with life, isn't it? So how you deal with life. Life throws you curveballs all the time. Okay, you've got two ways of dealing with life. You can either collapse and let it beat you, or you can put your survivor head on, come out swinging at it. Yeah, doesn't necessarily mean being super aggressive, but you can just go, do you know what? Dear worst, I'm getting on with it, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to enjoy myself, carry on, keep Kaz happy, keep my sons happy, keep my friends happy, not be morose about it. But I'm also not prepared to hide it.
Hey up, Benny.
We had a bit of a chat about this in the beginning. It's a subject. Cancer is a subject people don't like to talk about. Cancer is something that gets, for a long time through the centuries, there's always been, don't whisper it, don't say it, you know. Treatments are getting better, methods are getting better. If anything, what I want to do is try and raise a bit of awareness so more people find it like I have early rather than late, which I think is that's the first message I want to get out. Two, for people that may be in a worse situation than me, is let them know I care. Let them know that I'm here. And for anybody that's got to face something like this, let them know they're not alone, because you go through phases with this. You sit there. I mean, we've had several months where we haven't mentioned some of the tests and that were going on because we didn't really want to.
Another thing, we had to be careful because course, our sons watch this sometimes as
Yeah,
well. So
and
we
I didn't want
wanted
to put them in a
yeah.
position of like, oh no, what's wrong with Dad? I'm worrying when it could have been fine, not a problem. It's a kidney
Yeah,
stone
definitely
or
make a video
whatever.
from that,
So
Dan.
again, it's a difficult, but it's also difficult not to keep on about it. What I don't want to do, I don't want to get to the point where people are like, oh, here's old Nicky talking about his kidney again. You know,
Bushcraft Sussex said you made him feel braver about his surgery, and he's been really worried about it, scared about it. But he's got a 6 month recovery after his op.
Mate, I'm there with you. I'm there with you. You let me know what your date is. I'll come up to the hospital with you. I'll bring the bat with me. You've seen it's up there. The pick helve of power. I'll come and stand up there and have a chat to the surgeon for you. No, it's all seriousness. No, mate, I am there with you. In any surgery, it's always, no matter how brave, I don't care how big and tough you are, how brave you are, how much knowledge you have about what they're going to do. There's always going to be a few butterflies.
Go to Southampton. You got Frimley, haven't you?
You push through it.
Lee said, how did it affect me? Not been sleeping well. I had a few panic attacks this week, which I haven't had for quite a while now. Some days are harder than others, but we talk a lot, and we sort of keep each other strong. So it's hard, but it's not about me, it's about him.
And it's not about me, it's about her. And that's the way we work, you know. People have known us for years, and a phrase that was said to me years ago by a dear friend, a guy both me and Mac know, Mal, and he said something one night in a pub which offended me, and it offended Caroline, and I sort of turned around to him after and said, why would you say something like that? And he went, but I didn't mean it in the way that you saw it. He said, I meant it in the way that I saw those characters loved one another. And the term he used was Ma and Pa Larkin. Now, that's what he meant, is those two characters had an absolute love for one another. And me and Cass do. She's my world. You know, it's...
Thank you. I really do appreciate, everyone's kind comments and, saying if you need me, we're here for you. We do really appreciate it.
And it helps. Every single comment helps. Probably more, and again, channel-wise, more so now than ever before, because I get down days. I get some mornings I walk in here and I sit down for about 10-15 minutes having that first cup of coffee, and I'm like, why? What have I done? Why, with everything was going so well, do you suddenly get walloped with this? And then I go start reading through my comments, and within 5-10 minutes, I'm like, buoyed back up again. You know, so it does help. It really does help.
We're very lucky with our network of friends on here, and I'm not on here, and it does.
People in the bike clubs that I haven't spoken to in 2 or 3 years getting hold of me, and saying, mate, anything you need, what do you want, look after you, we'll all come around and visit and that, and you're like, I appreciate the thought, but at the moment I'm trying to isolate a little bit, keep yourself fit and healthy. My mum, I'm supposed to have been over with my mum tomorrow. She's having a cataract done in one of her eyes. So the plan originally was that I'd go over tomorrow, be there to take her to the hospital, bring her back and look after her for a few days. And now I can't. But my mum, this was quite difficult. And then she just went, no.
And we were supposed to be going over Boxing Day to spend a few days with her as well.
And she was like, no, I've got a friend that can come in and feed the dog. I'll manage, don't you there, and if it's one thing is don't argue with your mum. So just telling the scouts today, I said, it's a funny old thing. I said, my mum and my dad, I said, I'm nearly 60 years old. I'm a big sturdy lad. I tower over my mum. and I used to tower over my dad. But my mum has only got to call me Michael, and I'm like, yes, mum. Instantly, yes, mum. Sorry, mum. I'll do it again, mum. And then 20 minutes later, I'm thinking to myself, hang on, mum. I'm not 10 years old anymore, But again, it's a respect thing, isn't it? It's the way generations are brought up. Yeah. Yeah.
So, what has anyone done that's
let's get on something else.
Yeah.
What's your adventures? What have you been up to? What's your plans? What are you
How young is your
mum?
mum? Your mum's the same as mine. It's 70.
Oh, my mum's into her 80s. She's 78, 79.
Oh, she'll be 80 next year.
Yeah, 80 next year. Yeah. Tis John.
Yeah.
Your mum uses your full name.
Yeah.
You know that's it. You. Yeah.
Oh, it's a certain way. Mum goes, Caroline. Oh, here we go.
Kiwi's been working and more working. Roman Ray's got 1 a.m. start tomorrow.
Night, Ray.
Oh,
been enjoying your videos.
Ray, take it easy, mate.
That place you and your wife stayed in looked lovely, and it was nice to see the snow, even though we didn't get any.
Yeah. Right, take care. Thanks for all the support, mate. Have a great one. I won't say don't work too hard because I know the sort of guy you are. I know you're going to be slogging into
Benny,
it.
has Oliver got hold of you?
Yeah.
Your friend you met in the woods.
Yes. Benny's been making friends in the woods. Be careful how you say that. Yeah, take it easy, mate. Have a good one. It's do TJ. Yeah, it's family, pets.
Yeah.
Anything that makes you smile is a bonus. It's a win.
Yeah, while he was out yesterday, I've got those little bells, the little dog bells that you teach them to ting it if you want them to go to the toilet. And it took me a minute with a few treats, and I've taught him to ring the bell. We have to keep taking it away from him because it's really annoying.
Dan's got a prepper-based video coming up this week. Brilliant, that Dan. Do you know, this is one of the things come up with the scouts. I'm sitting there talking about them, saying they were asking the question: what is the difference between a bushcrafter, a survivalist, a prepper, and wild camping and all that? And I was sat there, and I suddenly was like, do you know what? They're just really different paths and levels of exactly the same thing. It's whether I think really like survival, bushcraft, they've always gone together. The bushcraft is the practice of arts that have been used and methods that have been used for thousands of years. Survival is the use of methods from thousands of years ago, as well as new techniques, equipment, methodologies and ideas. But then so is bushcraft. I see a lot of bushcraft being based about old-fashioned things, but we could do modern bushcraft. Okay, I don't understand. I've often thought to myself, like you can do bushcraft with using modern equipment, using modern tools. It's just, it's where'd you go to? It doesn't always have to be a hand tool. Okay, I mean, we used to use the hand augers. I've got a set. I've used them for years.
Yeah. But
then could you go to a cordless drill?
So Dee's getting all his cold weather loadout because he's day 3. He's got day 3 of filming. Got 3 more sections to go.
Excellent.
It's just situations change. It's the flooding. Yeah. People are not expecting flooding. Are you prepared for that? And it's
So, and I said like prepping. Prepping sort of at one point started to become a bad term, didn't it? People were like, "Oh yeah, he's a prepper."
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you.
People are waking up to it.
Poor Stealth, he's hurt his back, so he's not been out. He's in bed for days. He hasn't been able to go out.
Oh no, Stealth. Lots of hot water bottles. John Kennedy, we call the old time schools going Amish. Yeah. Amish. Yeah.
We need to get a big room, put all the beds in it. lock in.
Yeah.
It's a lot boozy. You lock in for
Yeah.
prepping and things like that.
And it's all mindset, really. That's what it comes down to, isn't it? It's mindset, being able to adapt something to a situation you're in.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a point. That's a point. I'm just going to dive downstairs. She got me a bargain. I'm going to go grab them, bring them up, share this with you because I want you guys to grab these if you can. Oh, stiff. Hang on. There we go.
Did you hear that crack?
Just go grab those lights.
I've always sort of had, like for my gran, always kept having back stock of things like flowers and rice, things you can just throw a meal together. So I've always made sure that I've had, even when the boys were growing up, extra stuff. And I was able to go say, oh, you need nothing in the cupboard. All right, make a cake. Yeah. I think everyone has a part of them that's they are prepared.
So, Kaz, I turned around to Kaz the other day and I realised most of the tea lights we got was cheap old pound shop jobbies, And I said, do us a favour, love. Can you have a look and see if you can source us some longer burning tea lights?
They do.
Because I like tea lights over candles because they're stable. So she got me these. So they're 8-hour burn time tea lights. Now, I've not tested them fully yet, but we've had one going for about 4.5 hours. It's not even halfway through. So I'd say pretty much going to be an 8-hour burn time.
Yeah.
And there's 50 in that pack.
And it was £6.75 at the moment because, of course, you got the Black Friday. But you can get 100 for $10.99.
$10.99. So, and at the end of the day, that's an 8-hour burn. Now, all right, it's only a candle, but it's an 8-hour burn. If we got into a situation where we're really stuffed, there's 50 there.
Like this, Jess.
1 or 2 a night. Yeah, it's 25 nights going. Lovely.
Yeah, I've actually got one of those the food heater things. You keep your food warm. It's got a metal grill on the top, and inside you put 2 tea lights, and it's got 2 little doors, so you push them down. We used to put like Chinese on top of that, and just keep things, ticking over.
And again, it's find the kit. Now, see, once you've got your tea light, you take your empty can, you make your lantern, or as I did the other day, and was quite chuffed with that worked. Although
I think that's what it's called. It was like a.
That was one of those daft things, you suddenly get an idea. You go, I'm going to do the video in a minute. All right, run downstairs, grab the drill, got the cone bit, drilled the can. Didn't look inside the can, the plastic can.
Yeah, it's funny that the ones that have potatoes in, they seem to have a lining in.
And that worked superbly. That really worked better than I was expecting it to over a little cheap tea light. Over one of these or a couple of those, it's going to work even better. But use a tin that's not got a plastic lining in it. And using the gel, you can see there, it actually the top started glowing red. So using, it's a weird one because I've used those chafing gels before now and found that they won't boil water. Yet put inside there, because it contains the heat, holds it and builds it up even more. I ended up with the top of this glowing, which means if I'd put the kettle on top of that, I could probably boil water in that. So again, and it's just try it out for yourself. Have a bash.
I got the 50 because I thought I'd give them a go. If they are good as they say they are, then obviously I'll get the 100 because I've got a biscuit barrel as a hair downstairs that I keep tea lights in, so I know if there's a power cut, I know exactly where they are, and there's a lighter in there as well.
Yeah, sterno stoves, basically, or what you guys over in the States would call sterno, and over here we call chafing gels. You know, these are brilliant. It's one of those systems, isn't it? These are for warming food. They do give off heat. They will heat the space. If you then combine it with something like that, works really, really well. If you try and just put a frame over that and boil water, it just doesn't contain enough heat. But you use something to hold that heat back and intensify the heat level. Yeah, works really, really well. So sterno, and the other thing is sterno or chafing gels, because it's a bioethanol, doesn't give off a lot of soot, doesn't give off a lot of chemicals. It's quite safe to use indoors, and so use these in restaurants. But you can also use it as a fire lighting aid. You a spoonful of that out into your fire pit.
How much were they? You got a case of them, didn't you?
Okay, right.
I'm not quite sure.
Got to go back to, there's something in my head says that I get 20 of these for £19, but I need to check. Next, I'm going to go into Costco this week anyhow. So what I'll do whilst I'm in there, I'll double check for you, or have a look online, have a look on Amazon, places like that, because again, you can get these through there. Or, as I said on the video, if you know somebody that does catering, one of the things Jason came up with was a lot of caterers will use them for outdoor events. They use them in restaurants and things like that. And then at the end of the evening, so there's another one there, it's half used. Well, they pop the lid on and throw them away because they'll use fresh ones next time round. So if you know somebody that does catering, you can quite often get these. All right, they're half full. If you can get it for nothing, it's worth having, isn't it? So again, they are a great option and an option worth exploring.
Kitten said he's engineered a soup can to burn various fuels. It's absolute bonkers. And also, today I got him. If anyone uses Morrison's, they do the giant pot noodles at the moment for £1.
Yeah.
So if you want to avoid the squash, don't go to Morrison's.
Yeah, Kitten. So Kitten, we were discussing this the other day. I've decided you need to change your channel. You to Professor Kitten.
Yeah, Professor Kitten.
Professor Kitten. You are our resident inventive genius. Okay. During the Second World War, you would have been one of those chaps firing ball bearings across paddling pools and stuff like that. I really admire you, mate. I might be a reasonable blacksmith, but by God, as an inventive genius, as a man that just suddenly gets an idea and goes, let's try it and find out. Yeah, you're my go-to guy. So
yeah, it's a photograph. You've already stocked up, yeah. But we got an order, and we got one of those free ones as well. The new, it's not a pot noodle. Yeah. He's still working on his squirrel launcher.
Squirrel launcher. I can't wait to see this squirrel launcher.
He's got squirrels that get very amorous on his roof, his shed. Put it that way.
Amorous squirrels. Both and that. Yeah, Dan. Right, so you're a man after my own heart, anyhow. So you are into your paraffin stoves, paraffin lamps. I watched your video, and suddenly something came back from my childhood, which is the smell of paraffin warming the upstairs of the farmhouse. Yeah,
that's rightly.
Paraffin heaters, love them. One of the things I like a paraffin lamp, funny enough, is that smell. But again, something that's lost today, and I think it's worth you doing and covering on yours because you've got so much kit. Wicks and trimming of wicks. Okay, so as a kid, it was a clip round ear all time if that wick got too long, or if the wick got burnt out. You know, trimming and cleaning your wicks, maintaining your wicks is an essential part of running any piece of equipment for paraffin. And if anybody hears anywhere, I am in the market for a greenhouse paraffin heater, just a small one. Nice one.
Yes.
I've also been having a look at these kerosene paraffin heaters. They're expensive. I think there's a couple of the big brands have got onto them. There used to be the old iron heaters, but I was looking at those and thinking, do you know what? That's quite a nice little system. If you had
Was that on the glass?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that was a nice little system. You had to just keep a room warm in an emergency, and that give a little bit of light. You got a flicker. It'd be romantic. You know, it's one of those things in power cuts. This thing about power
Quite
cuts.
like. I don't mind sitting there with just candles going.
Yeah, we do it
It's
quite regularly, don't we?
yeah.
It's again, that's the other thing, isn't it? It's a bit romantic. You know what I mean? This is the thing for those survival men of you that have got partners. Hide a box of chocolates somewhere. Hide the candles somewhere.
But not necessarily over the top of them.
Yeah, bottle of plonk.
Yeah.
Hide it somewhere. And when you get that power cut and everything goes out, right? Or you could engineer it yourself. It's all right, sweetheart. I've got you. Light your candles. Yeah.
Push
get the
across
chocolates out.
Sussex
Glass of
said,
wine. Yeah. Make it a romantic evening.
Sussex says he's got an old Swedish paraffin blow lamp he's fixing up at the moment.
Nice. Nice.
You should get on with a kit and you can use that as a clue.
Yeah.
Get not instead of squirrel launcher, squirrel.
Yeah. And again, my dad used to have a Tilly lamp, and I can remember watching him in the shed pumping this Tilly lamp up. And it used to amaze me as he pumped it. You'd see the come on, it's the bit of material actually ignites the fumes. Mantle, see the mantle glowing and getting brighter and brighter. And I can remember the day he was pumping this thing up in his workshop, and it blew a valve somewhere, and it was just a cloud of vapours. I don't think I've ever seen the old man run so fast. It was literally out of there.
Lee said he's got a kerosene heater somewhere in his shed. Next camp he'll try and remember to bring it.
Yeah. I mean, a good kit, and like I say, I love the smell of paraffin. It's one of those. It's from my childhood, I suppose. It's one of those things that in your head, something back there goes warm. Be warm, be nice.
Well,
and again, you have to apply common sense to all these things. You know, carbon monoxide, fire risk. I mean, let's face it, you've got flammable liquid in a tank at the bottom of something that's on fire. Doesn't sound so good when I put it like that, does it?
No.
But it does work damn well. And I think if you're the sort of person, especially if you're in a rural area, you're prepping for power cuts and that. As I'm always saying, step back in time. It's one of the things worth thinking about. If you don't have a fireplace and that, is it worth having a gas bottle heater? I can remember when they came in. Is it worth just having one in a cupboard somewhere that you could pull it out if you needed it, or a paraffin heater, or run out to the greenhouse and steal the greenhouse heater? Because again, better to be warm than cold.
Kitten said, did your dad ever put a paraffin heater under the sump of a car in winter?
Yes,
I've seen him do it in Russia.
I've done it myself.
Putting fires underneath.
Yeah, I've lit fires underneath diesel engines and diesel fuel tanks in the past in certain environments to warm the diesel so that work. But the top trick there on old diesels, special manual pumps and that, and systems without preheats. So we used to put 1 gallon of, well, it was 4-star then, but 1 gallon of petrol to a full tank of diesel. And what that would do, it would mix in and it would just prevent the diesel from waxing up, which is what it does. As it gets cold, it goes waxy. And blocks the lines, blocks the injectors. And you literally just thinned it down like that. And that was a method we used to use around the farm on things like tractors, dumpers and things like that, just to keep them operating. And then when I was older and I went to Germany, I found that they were doing the same things with things like the old Bedfords, the old TKs, TLs and things like that. They were putting petrol into the diesel, so prevent the diesel from waxing up. But again, yeah, heating fuel tanks, not the safest thing in the world.
He used to put a light of fire under the old wind-up cement mixer.
Yeah.
Done it in Scotland before the days of multigrade oil.
And the other thing we used to do, right, so this is taking you back. right? So you got the I can't remember the model, but it was a paraffin tractor. We had a tractor that ran on paraffin, okay, but I had a carburettor. So what it used to do, you used to have to start it on petrol, and once the engine warmed up, you'd turn it over to paraffin, and the paraffin line came up and it spiraled up the exhaust, right, all the way up to the manifold, then fed into the carburettor. And how it worked was the paraffin got superheated, and when you heated up the paraffin enough, it would work through the carburettor. Years later, I came across some people doing exactly the same thing in Africa. They were running petrol engines on paraffin, and what they would do, they would start it on petrol, switch it over to the paraffin, and the paraffin line, which was a copper line, would come spiral all the way up the exhaust, and the pump would draw it up. The paraffin would thin down as it got hotter and hotter, and it would work through the carburettor. So yeah, there
Was
we
it
go.
offshore? You put A1 aviation fuel in the diesel for generators in the winter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, that you're right, Gary. You put a tea light under a ceramic pot, it does heat the room up well.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, I mean, ceramics work better than a metal can because ceramics have got a slow release heat. One of the things, me and Sticks talking about this at the camp. So the little Timu box stove, if I was say putting that into say a cabin or something like that, I would actually literally brick it in with bricks. That would become the firebox and the chimney. The top of it I would leave open, obviously, so I can cook on, but all around the sides and underneath it would be bricked in. And that would mean that the bricks would absorb the heat. And I mean, not just single course, I mean, like a good 2 feet of bricks built up around it. Work like the Russian ovens, so that the bricks absorb the heat whilst that's running. And then when you shut the little stove down at the end of the night, those bricks are going to be a slow release of heat for you. That's how I would probably look at using that if I had to.
TJ said, "Do you remember the old scambles having to double clutch them?"
Double declutching of vehicles. Yeah, yeah. I learned to drive in a vehicle that you had to double the clutch. So basically, doubling the clutch. So before we had synchromesh gearboxes, basically the gears were cut straight. So to change gear in a vehicle, you would put your foot on the clutch, take it out of the gear you're in into neutral, take your foot off the clutch, push your foot back onto the clutch, which basically allowed time for everything to slow down, and then you felt it into the next gear. So feeling it into the next gear, you literally put your hand, and as you selected that gear, you felt it going, and it used to going with a whole shunk. If you got it wrong, it was teeth coming off gears. And the bonus with that was later on in life, I had a car where the clutch went. It was a Mini, and I lost the clutch. And I was like, I'm still going to have to drive the thing home. So I waited till it got quite late at night, minimum traffic and that. Basically put it into first gear, wound it over on a starter, feathered the throttle till it started up. That's me going along in first. And it was like, drive, take your foot off the throttle, out of first, give it a second, or give it a second in neutral, and then feel it gently in second, accelerate up, and the knack was not to go too mad at it, but you could change, quite easy. And I used to do the same thing on my motorbike. On my bike, once I'm rolling, I only use the clutch when I'm stationary or pulling off. The rest of the time, I'm going through the gears, basically dropping the throttle, just tapping it into gear. There's no real requirement to use the clutch, but it's knowing how to feel it so that it goes in without missing, chewing teeth and that. So you've got to be a bit gentle with it. If you're going hell for leather, then yeah, you want to use the clutch. But yeah, general riding, it's just click, 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 and you're away.
Changes on a motorbike.
Yeah.
Rev matching.
Yeah. And it's
John says Mini's always been posh with their fancy clutches.
God, that Mini was a bloody nightmare. I owned that Mini for a weekend. Okay, so the first night that my dad gave it to me, and I drove it back to Cranley to see Kaz. I lost the clutch, right?
Is that when the engine fell out? Engine mount went.
Engine mount went. And then I lost the throttle cable. And then I lost an engine mount. Right? This thing was doomed not to be mine. I still managed to drive it back. I ended up with using a bootlace off the carburettor through the window as a throttle. Clutchless change in the gearbox.
I see someone today got done by the police for using shoelaces to move their windscreen wipers.
Yeah, well, that's the only Mini I ever owned. I owned it for a weekend. It was a Mini Clubman, right? And I've never wanted, never liked, never trusted, never lusted after a Mini ever since. It put me off completely. That was it. End of my Mini experience. And I know some people have got some very nice and very good Minis, and I will walk along and go, yeah, nice little car. Just inside me, butterfly stock going, slightly queasy feeling and that. Not my idea of fun. Because let's face it, when you're driving a Mini and all that's gone wrong with it, there is also part of you, very rural roads, thinking if something else goes and I end up hitting something in this, I'm inside a Mini. There's not a lot of protection.
Yeah, Hank D had a vintage 1965 Seat 600. We had a 1965 Mark IV Zodiac.
Yeah, it was nice, that was.
And it was, he was born on the 22nd of September, 22nd of August 1965. And this was actually registered on the 20th of August 1965.
Yeah, that was a lovely car. That was a lovely car. And it was quite I didn't realise, you're young and you're silly. I didn't realise that because it didn't have bench seats, it had single seats and it had a floor change, not a column change. It was actually quite a rare model. And I sold that to a guy at work for 250 quid. Oh, I wish I'd kept that today. And the annoying thing is, we did check the registration on it a year or two back, didn't we? And it's still on the road.
But yeah, it was about 4 years ago now. We had it. A friend of ours checked it because it's EEL 866C, and it was still on the road there 5 years ago. And we'd had it. I mean, I drove a P6 that got the engine taken out, and we put in a Triumph.
Stag on it.
Yeah, Stag. Yeah.
So yeah.
With a 1968 Beetle.
Yeah, that little Beetle.
We had a 1962 Vauxhall Viva.
Yeah, Mark 1 Viva. That was a good little car.
Yeah. And we had a 1966 Humber Superminx.
Hilbert Superminx.
Hilbert Superminx. Gary, he's 6'3" and getting in a Mini. Yeah, that's. TJ's just had your live notification. He says he thinks Lord Lucan must have delivered it on Shergar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Night, Jason. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, and hi to Jen. I hope she enjoyed the.
We look forward to seeing more of your videos.
We do look forward to seeing more of your videos and seeing some more of where you live, mate.
Yeah.
It looks like an absolutely stunningly beautiful place. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Have a great week.
Yeah.
Have your
And
adventures. Have fun. Crack out the videos. Vancouver Island.
Yeah, Vancouver Island.
You know, have fun. Thank you very much. Be awesome. Suicide doors. Oh, don't like suicide doors.
I love that car that Marilyn Manson used in that Tainted Love video. It's a Gothic on the front, and that had suicide doors on it.
Yeah, don't like suicide doors. They had a Daimler Conquest that had suicide doors on it. Hated the damn things.
You still got your workshop manual for his dad's 1950s Morris Oxford. I thought all the
It's-
Morris Oxfords and that round here and Cambridges all end up on the banger track, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Do you know what though? You look back at those manuals, and I was comparing a couple of bike manuals, and so like the difference is bike manual from 1950s and 60s. This is how you strip the engine down to every single last nut and bolt and replace the main end bearings and every single item in it. Modern manual.
Austin Healey.
Refer
Oh,
to manufacturer. Refer to manufacturer. Refer to manufacturer. My old manuals. This is how you strip the alternator or the starter motor, replace the brushes, and rewire the regulator. Modern manual. Buy yourself an alternator.
Oh, so the manual's all hand drawn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's the difference. I mean, my father was quite anti what he would call new mechanics, because as he said, the problem was, he said, most new mechanics, through no fault of their own, are fitters, because the system has become go to parts,
Haynes manuals.
get a new replacement part, put it in. He said, but in his day, there wasn't the replacement parts. So you took the alternator off, you stripped the alternator. If need be, you rewired the alternator or rewound the alternator, or you put new brushes in it, and you learned how to measure it, set it up, and put it back in. Same thing with bearings and pulleys. You learn to pull a bearing, replace a bearing, and so on. These days, it's not the mechanics' fault. It's just the way things are designed now, that it's replaceable parts all the time. So the poor guys that are coming into it now aren't learning these old skills.
That's a good deal.
There's no requirement.
Gary went to a Christmas car boot today, and he got himself a whole load of DPM pouches, including a copy of the MOD knife for 30 quid. Bargain.
Well done, mate. Well done, mate. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. The copy of the MOD knife, does it have any wording on it? Because you might be lucky. You might have a Webtex one like me. And I've had my Webtex one for donkey's moons. And I mean donkey's moons. Been all over the place with me, that, and it's never let me down. Mate, just as good as standard.
Stealth was saying manuals used to teach you how to rebuild. Modern app manual says don't drink the battery acid.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Don't put your fingers on the spark plugs when you try it out. Oh, Sticks has just put down the foil.
Sticks, mate, go steady. I saw the pictures that you put up the other night. Yeah, that looked like that was coming on really, really well.
Oh, did you? So Matt did driving tests in the military, done a 2-week course of repairs, servicing, fault finding and repairs on Land Rover Series 3. We do love a series, though, don't we?
Yeah, we do love a Series 3, don't we, Matt? Or even better still, Series 1. Yeah, Gary, I mean, yeah, bargain that. DPM and the MOD knife. And that MOD knife, God of your life. Because
he's back at he's going to check it when he gets back home.
The value of them is going up and up and up and up and up, because the MOD is getting rid of them all. They're no longer in the vehicle kits. They've been taken out of service. There's some being held on by some specialist units that require that sort of thing for jungle work and that. But in the majority of cases, the MOD is not buying any more and disposing of the old ones. So there's been a bit of a glut out there, and now that they're getting rarer and rarer, the value is going up. Anybody that's got an MOD knife, hang on to it. Now you can get a J Adams knife still via J Adams, and you will be able to for a long time. Between 80 and 120 quid now is what I'm seeing. Whereas just 4 years ago, I was in a local army surplus shop, and I kick myself now. If I'd known or realised then, because I was chatting away to the guy in there, and I said, MOD knives. And he went, yeah. Literally lifted up a box, and he went, 30 quid each, mate. Take your pick. If I'd known then what I know now, I'd have probably turned around and bought the whole bloody box.
John said, MOD determined that Scotties can't be trusted with sharp, pointy things.
Scotties have never been able to be trusted with sharp, pointy things.
Or shiny things. Things that shine. Yeah.
Things that buzz when you switch them on, or hum when you switch them on. It's another good one.
That's 90 quid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't been to a car boot in such a long
£100.
time. But it's most of the ones now got on bloody muddy fields. I leave my big barn and
Well, I've chatted to Tim about that today. There may be something in the offing in the near future over there.
Things that aren't tied or trained down. Yeah, we know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's that old thing for squaddies. There's an ingrained thing of I haven't got one, but I'll have one. You know.
I found this. It was dumped.
Yeah. I didn't nick it. It fell in my bag. Yeah, you got.
John said that's why the Claymore mines say front towards enemy.
That's why I remember the look and horror on the face of the dredging company around Portsmouth Harbour. You know, dredging the entrance of Portsmouth Harbour. And I can remember the guy going, I can't figure it out. Where are all these Argentinian weapons coming from? And that was the guys returning from the Falklands.
Yeah.
And they were suddenly told that everybody coming off the ship was going to get checked and everything was going to get checked and everything went overboard.
Invisible says he's still got his Martindale Go lock. He forgot to hand it in when he left. It's understandable.
It blends in.
Yeah.
You know, he thought it was a tent peg. Mate, it happens. You know, what can you do? What can you do?
Gary said he remembers having to spray the whole four tunnels to make them look shiny for inspection by Prince Charles and Princess Diana.
Oh no! It goes back to the days when people used to paint the canvas as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't. Same here in Sussex. They're saying he doesn't think he's been well enough.
Right, let you guys know now. So the recovery time for this operation I'm having, I am not going to be. There's not going to be a February camp. I'm gutted by that, but again, I know speaking to the surgeon and that I'm not going to be in a fit state for it. It's a case of
but
there will be a camp. There will be, and I've got to sit down and speak to Gareth. We'll look at doing a camp a bit later on, maybe sort of April, May. You know, then we'll look at doing a June, July.
I'm still looking around for some of the places.
Yeah.
Else, yeah. Dara of cookies. Oh dear.
That it just can't be helped. It's got to be done. Got to be done.
If they leave it unattended, you know, it's lucky that
bad skills, bad rules.
Yeah, it's probably going to be if you just get over your surgery, then it will be a bit cold. But
it's speaking to the
surgeon, definitely let you know when.
Looking at they're saying to me recovery time for light duties is 4 to 6 weeks, and absolutely, 100%. No, I can't remember how many times they said, and no lifting. Even got a piece of paper that says no lifting at 4 weeks, anything over 20 pounds. I'm like, again, a bit strict about this.
Gary was saying that he had his right kidney removed in his teens. That's why every charity I'm involved in is for kidney research.
Yeah, mate. It's what you got to do, isn't it?
Yeah, we know, Kitten, that February in the south would be too warm for you. Double on up there.
The BK2. So I think the BK it's buried in my bag. Hang on, John.
Yeah, what he doesn't realise, I'm going to get hold of the car keys and I'm going to post them to Mac. Just so that he can't decide that he can do some driving before he's supposed to do his driving.
No, I'm going to be a good boy here. I'm not going to mess about with this. I
You heard that.
All right, so John, quite similar in a lot of ways to the. Excuse me. A bit of muck on that today. Quite similar in a lot of ways to the Becker BK2, I suppose. This is a chunk of steel. You are looking at 1/4 of an inch across the back of the spine. You're looking at a slight, it's a very, very slight concave grind to it. Very slight. It was.
Well, you're gonna be using that to do your drawings anyway, aren't you?
The standard handles on them are pants, but they leave room for adaptation. And really, truthfully, as out of the box, not the best knife in the world, but they'll sharpen and they will take an edge and they will hold a reasonable edge. But they're not that brittle that they chip to buggery, unlike some knives. I've had a few knives over the years that are good chunks, super sharp, and will hold an edge. And what I found the problem is with that edge is it will chip, which then means you're doing a lot of work to take it back. The edge on these is what I would say it's a medium hardness, which means that it doesn't chip. It may deform. It may take a roll if you accidentally hit something, but you can then repair that, maintain it, and get it back to good order. But they were designed primarily to the format for them when they designed them. The requirement was to be heavy enough to chop timber and construct, to be broad enough to dig with, to be short enough to make a suitable, you're not allowed to knife, yeah, and to be solid, reliable. And one of it's a weird one. One of the requests was to be driven into a piece of timber and used as a step. And I've done that on this. I've driven this into a piece of timber about that far and actually stood on the handle and used it to step
says up. His handle is black as the blade.
Yeah,
so it could be Webtex.
Yeah, a lot of them have a black handle. There's two handles. There is the wooden handle, okay, like this, which is it's can't remember the tree now. Come on, it's there. It's it's a hardwood from one of the rainforests. It's a very, very good timber, or it's a micarta, black micarta. But again, in both cases, the handle can be shaped to fit you better. I've seen people cutting the end off the handle. What I did with mine was I actually worked the wood back, because occasionally I'll use mine if I'm bushcrafting it literally as a chisel. So I'll be striking there. And by taking the handle back, because it is a big handle, it means I can strike on that without damaging the handle itself. And again, take the handle down, make it fit you. You've normally got a piece that comes up here, like finger guard, stop your hand sliding forward. I've left the bottom one on. I took the top one off.
Oh wow, Andy!
And I put just a thumb divot in the back there to fit my hand, which gives me that little bit more control when I'm slicing, cutting, doing feather sticks and things like that. Okay, that also, because I've ground it flat, makes a perfect runner for my ferrocerium rod. Otherwise, what you tend to find yourself doing is coming down to this end and using it. And again, that means you're covering the blade of your hand. You don't want to. So by just putting a very slight thumb divot in there, angling it up, makes a nice one for the ferro rod. And again, and that's the beauty of that as a knife, is it's almost like somebody is giving you a really good basic box for you to then adapt into something that fits you. Most knives that you buy are finished knives, which means the handles are finished, the blades are finished, everything's set up. What can you do with it? Whereas with that, you just got a good basic starter piece. Finish it yourself.
Sussex friend scratched his forest axe when it hit the floor, so he's not allowed to use it anymore. And he said his mum's 91, and at the moment she's knitting his second oldest a fair old jumper.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
A fair old jumpers. God, I haven't thought about that for years. It's good. That's the white one, isn't it? The white, what we used to call a fisherman's jumper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a couple of them as a kid, or as a young man, even. Bloody good. Yeah. Excellent, excellent. Well, might have to dive in for one of those.
You finally eating your beef, are you? It's like Mr. Veggie decided he's going to eat his roast beef now.
He's eating roast beef. Right, guys, I'm not going to be rude. I am now hitting the wall, as you probably gather. It's been a long weekend. Been a long week. Starting to feel it a little bit at the moment. I am probably going to wind this up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Go get a cheese toasty, and I think I'm going to hit the sack, get an early night tonight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you guys say goodnight to one another, have your chats. We will be live again next Sunday, and I've got nothing on. That's it. All my things that I had on my list that I had to do are done now. Everything else is cancelled.
4 weeks, that's a long time.
From this point on, I am pretty much. I'm going to get a couple of walks in, so I'll have videos on a couple of walks. I might, if there's nobody up the woods, get up the woods for an hour, but I'm going to try and just now concentrate on keeping myself warm, dry, comfortable, healthy, avoid catching coughs, colds, things like that.
Thank you for all the love's going up.
Thank you, guys. There'll be videos coming from here, and I know that's a pain in the bum, and I do apologise, but that situation's a situation. We'll deal with it. And I will keep you posted on how things are going.
And it'd be great if you could leave a little a like and a little a message from us, because we do like to read some of the messages.
Right, so
get left.
I'll let you guys choose for me. Right, so the video this week, I'll tell you who's put the requests up so far. So Observation Post Charlie has asked for cook sets and firelighting.
Like Mac.
Katie Roo. Or Catty Roo has asked for survival pack from everyday items, water purification. Well, I tried to do a bit of that, this week, so I might come back to that. Mark has asked for knots and packs, so did Jess and Cass.
This week, Gary.
Chronically Outdoors is interested in cast iron cooking. My son Dan has asked for Tales of Daring Do Survival. That I might do when I first come out of hospital, because obviously there's not too much physicality that way, and I can sit back and probably do that from here. Gary Landmate, he's asked for packing gear and some tips for loadouts, ideas and methods. Yeah, good. Jess, she's asked for knives, grinds, tangs, how to choose one, and sharpening. So guys, have a chat amongst yourselves, give us a shout, and that's what I'll do this week.
Dirty Face water packs.
Okay, don't. I should dig all my put in that goes. He's the first one up there. So this video this week's going to be packs,
and me do one.
Yeah, packs, pouches, and loadouts. And Kaz will be doing one this week. Packs and simple mods. Yeah. How to load it properly. Okie doke. That's a difficult one, Kiwi, because actually, do you know what? It's a very individual thing, loading your pack. It depends on your build, your structure, and your type of pack.
Yeah, you got down the knot tying, haven't you?
Yeah. So, but we'll go through what I do. Try my ideas. Might not necessarily work for you, because again, it depends a lot on structure and build. But the simplest rule of thumb is I like to carry the weight high. I like to carry it up high, not low. So it's up over my shoulders, and I think of my body as a straight line down the spine, down through the hips, down through the legs. But I also want the stuff that I want to get to in places in the pack that I can get to it. So waterproofs and things like that, usually on the outside or
Do that
right
on
at the
Willa.
top. Shelter is next one down. Water is always on the outside, carried where I can get to it. So you've got to think about your loading out that way. But yeah, we'll run through some of that, and I'll do a civvy bag and probably my long back burger just to give you a couple of alternatives.
I've got that one down, Benny. I live in Lavoo, and I'm afraid it's going to be either.
Good idea, Benny.
Benny would, yeah.
Yeah, Benny. What I'll do, Benny, I'll base that on when we're doing the 4x4 response stuff. What do I throw in the car if I'm going to go out into situations?
You haven't got a Jackery, have you?
No, I haven't.
But he's got it because Andy said, "Have you got all those big Jackery recharge?" He's got a power pack.
Mine's called. It's made by a company called All Powers. It was on Amazon.
Might do a short one.
Yeah, I'll do a video on that if you want. Chuck that into one. Chest rigs, yeah, no limits. Chest rigs, nothing wrong with chest rigs. Now, I'm not a chest rig person myself because in my life I've done a lot going prone. However, in the civilian world, chest rigs, yeah, brilliant. Because again, you've got your kit you've got kit and gear where you want it, and you can also use that as an off balance for anything you're carrying on your back. So one of the things,
drone called as well.
Yeah, one of the things I always think about when I'm loading up is what I don't want to be doing is having to do that when I'm moving, and I don't want something that's going to be pulling me back. So what I try and do, I try and load my kit. If you look at the way my body is, if I've got anything heavy and it's up here, it's over my shoulders. If it's over my shoulders, that force is travelling directly straight down that way. But you've then got to think about balancing yourself out. Some people like to carry weight low and over their hips. Again, that helps with stability. But for me, I find that uncomfortable. So again, you've got to adapt it to what you need and what feels right for you. So we'll go through some methods and some ideas.
And Q would like to know what is the brand of your drone?
Right, my drone is a Hover X1. Yeah. So yeah, Hover X1. That's all it's called. yeah, right. I love the Alice pack, but I'm also with my build, my structure. It ain't my friend. Right. It sits wrong for me, and again, that's one of the issues, isn't it? You have to find what works. When I was younger, the Alice pack would have been ideal. Nowadays, not so much. Yeah, we'll see how I go in another 6 months.
Right, you're going to do your...
Right, anyhow, so guys, that's it from us at Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Cheese toasty time. Yeah, then I'll be honest with you, Kiwi, they ain't the cheapest of things. But when I looked at things like the DJI and stuff like that, and the risks involved with me trying to fly it, I had to go with the Hover X1. Now, if you're good at doing remote control stuff, yeah, get something like the DJI or some other drone, okay. But I wanted something that I'm no good at doing remote control stuff. I wanted something where I literally go, follow me, dolly shots, go up, go down, do circuits and things like that. It's great for that. The other thing that I haven't done with my X1, but you can do, if you want to do a piece to camera, you can use the camera on the X1, but you can link it to your phone and do the voice recording on your phone. And using their app, it will match everything up for you. It will sync it so that when you upload it to your computer, the whole lot's in sync for you. But again, I've actually steered a little bit away from that. I actually just like the images. For me, I think the talking and that at the moment would take away from it. It's just, there's just shots I like to get where I enjoy it. And hopefully everybody else does as well. Yeah, Northern Ireland Patrol Pack, brilliant bit of kit. Absolutely brilliant piece of kit. Yeah. Yeah, I've got the med pack up there. That's a good bit of kit as well. So anyhow, right, that's it. Oh, Gaz is heading down. Cheese toasty time. I'm sorry we didn't make it full 2 hours tonight, but I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to ache a little bit. And one of the things with this kidney thing is I'm getting a lot of backache. So I'm going to go and stick a hot water bottle on my back, stretch myself out. Guys, have a stunning week. Enjoy yourselves. Get outside if you can. Have some adventures. Or if you're like me in stealth, just stare out the window. Okay? Have some fun. I'll speak to you later on. Be good, guys. Have an awesome week. Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. And as always, peace and light be upon you all. Guys, from Mick, Kaz, and Willow, and Maroon Mac, and everybody else. Have a good one. Till we speak again, Mickey out.